So can you give an announcement on who's going to be Levi Jones-Leary's replacement?
Yeah. I'm really it's a bummer to not have Levi, but we've essentially got the opposite.
On this episode of On Borrowed Time, we speak to the lads down under, and we start off with the two-time ADCC champ, Adele Fornarino, because she is locked in for that 4-woman 100K bracket. Then we move on to the Australasian Misfits team, where they're going to break some news on how that team is shooken up for August 30th and 31st. Could it be a good thing for the Australasian Misfits? Find out. CJI fans, look who it is. It is your two-time ADCC champ, WNO champ, and she's currently in Australia getting a little training before she'll head over to Miami for July 25th, WNO 29. What is life like for you getting to stay active and do what you love, compete as a jiu-jitsu athlete?
Oh, I'm absolutely loving it at the moment because there's so many matches and exciting matches that I get to look forward to over the next few months. I compete because I love competing. You know, I want to be on these big stages. I want to be in these massive divisions, in these really prestigious divisions. So I'm really enjoying it. And the camps have been really good. Like every time we get into a new camp, we just one up it a little bit. We make small adjustments and it's honestly just really fine tuned at the moment.
So tell me about this matchup that you have going up. I saw that you've been sticking to your knee slices because that's all you're going to need against Jasmine Roca.
Yeah, look, everybody knows Jasmine. Everybody knows that Jasmine likes to talk a bit of shit and I'm all for it. I'm all for hyping up the match. But you know, I'll be exciting to show some new stuff. And if that's just a knee cut and a really good knee cut at that, then I'll show everybody that sometimes you just need one thing to get around somebody's game.
Take me back to 2024 ADCC where you guys battled it out and it ended up with her arm on your hip and you getting the win there.
Yeah, look, I was ready for that match. I was ready for a really big scrap. You know, I was ready to be kicked and punched and hit and all that kind of stuff. But we went in there feeling pretty confident. I managed to get a submission pretty early on. You know, she wanted to play the double leg game. I played there for a little bit and just saw an opportunity and backed myself on that opportunity. As soon as I got that arm exposure, I decided that I was going to double down on it. And, you know, obviously I came off on top on that exchange. And I don't think that this next match will be any different. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be hunting for submissions. I'm going to play, you know, all styles of jiu-jitsu. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get out there and find another cool submission.
I know a lot of athletes that compete against Jasmine, they'll have experiences hearing Wagner Rocha in their corner as well. Did you have any memories of that? And does it influence you in the moment at all?
Oh, look, like Wagner Rocha is definitely, he is a figure. He is, you know, an intimidating guy. So having him in the corner, you know, I don't think it doesn't scare me at all. It doesn't really play into how I'm feeling out there. You know, I've had matches where he's been yelling out for me. I've had matches where he's been yelling out against me. I don't think it'll play in too much, but it's obviously it's going to be fun to have him on the side of the mats to just see what kind of shit he wants to talk.
Yeah, because he'll definitely be there. He's going to be taking on Kit Dale. I don't know what the order of the matches is going to be officially, so who knows if he'll really be able to fully be there for Jasmine, but I assume that he will. He's Papa Bear out there.
Well, it's somehow turned out that like it's just Australians versus the Rocha family. You know, we got Kit, who's an Aussie, who's fighting Wagner, and then we got me, who's fighting Jasmine. So it's a little bit of like American/Brazilian versus Australia at the moment.
Ooh, I really like it. I didn't think about that at first. So I'm definitely going to be there. We are going to make the press conference super spicy at WNO.
100%.
It's going to be freaking crazy. I'm excited. But we do have some breaking news about CJI that we are going to have to talk about. Obviously, the 100K 4-women's tournament was originally announced. Helena Cravar, that first spot locked in. And then you had to like hold your tongue from all the media speculating on who could be dropped next. It was officially announced that you are that second spot in the tournament. So before we knew about the third person involved, what was your reaction? It's Helena Cravar, Adele Fornarino in the most high-paying female grappling tournament in history.
It's exactly what we expected. You know, we wanted this spot in this massive division. We saw CJI and how big it was last year. And then there were some promises made about, you know, wanting to increase female presence in the next CJI. And that's exactly what's happened. There's more money going to the females. There's an actual division for us. So we got bigger representation. And to have no other than Helena Cravar in that division, I'm incredibly excited for that. It's a match I've always wanted because obviously she's on the up at the moment. She's incredibly technical. It's hard for us to meet in some divisions because there is that weight discrepancy. So she is a little bit bigger than me, but I've wanted the match. So this is the perfect place, the perfect time to have that match. I'm very excited for it.
And then it was also announced that Anna Vieira will be in that tournament. So when you're looking at it stylistically, do any of them, you feel like match up better stylistically?
I feel comfortable against both of them. I think that they have very different styles, but I think that the thing that I pride myself on with my jiu-jitsu is it's well-rounded. So top, bottom, legs, upper body submissions, I'm pretty comfortable. So I think that Helena's going to come in with that very technical style where she's looking to get underneath, she's looking to get into the legs, she's going to look to attack, and we expect nothing less of her. And then Anna Vera is going to come in with that, you know, top heavy pressure. She's going to be looking to really keep continuous downwards pressure. And again, like I feel pretty comfortable with both of those styles going into these matches. We're just sharpening all the tools to make sure whatever any of them throw at me that we're prepared.
And Adele, you are just so jacked of a human, but I think you're definitely going to be the smallest person in this division. On my last interview with you, you mentioned that the absolute weight classes don't scare me. I quite enjoy some mismatched weight classes. So when it's your perspective, I'm assuming that you're probably going to be one of the smaller people in the tournament, depending on who takes up that last spot. What are you changing about your game in the lead up or your training preparation? Like, you're just going to be eating as many calories as you want all summer, getting up and trying to bulk up a little bit? Like, what is the game plan?
It's definitely nice not to need to like obsessively count calories. Like when I cut down to 115, I had to watch what I was eating, and you know, I love looking in the mirror. I was looking jacked, but I was hungry all the time. But now coming into this division that's at 145, you know, I don't need to really worry about calories, but I have a really good team behind me. So I'm dealing with Jordan, the fight dietitian. He's making sure that I'm just not being silly with what I'm eating. We're not, you know, doing any dirty bulks or anything like that. So I'm just eating more so it can fuel me a little bit more. Obviously, I'm picking different training partners because now they can be a bit heavier, so we can get used to that bit of difference in weight. But at the end of the day, like when I did ADCC, my ADCC division was 55 kilos. So by the time I was doing the open, I was 55 kilos. I didn't need to bulk up. I didn't need to get bigger to be competitive in that open weight division. So I don't feel the need to get humongous. I don't feel the need to like push myself all the way up to 145 for me to be able to be competitive. I don't want any silly weight to be put on.
Yes, you're really putting the true meaning of a jiu-jitsu to the test. The smaller guy can take out the bigger ones. And I remember we've done a few interviews now, but the first one that I had with you, and I was asking about whether or not you would even want to do an absolute division. And then Gaidama was the one who put on the 2024 absolute division, brought it back. So I just feel like there's a lot of powerful manifestation that you've been doing, and seeing it come to fruition in your own career is so amazing to me. Like Craig said, you are one of the biggest names in women's jiu-jitsu right now. And especially with all the push that you've been getting with UFC, BJJ, and everything that they've been doing, it seems like such a great time for all jiu-jitsu athletes, but especially you. So I'm so happy that you're able to take up opportunities with WNO as well, defend your belt, have opportunities there, and then also potentially get back in with UFC, BJJ, who's coming off of such an entertaining The Ultimate Fighter style series that they did. In your book, if you were to be a coach for The Ultimate Fighter Jiu-Jitsu, who do you think would be the most appropriate coach that you could coach against?
I've thought about this a lot, because I think that having a women's Ultimate Fighter style would be amazing. I think that it'd be very interesting to watch, because obviously like the girls would talk shit with each other. It would be spicy. It'd be fun to watch their style of jiu-jitsu as well. There's a couple names to throw around. You know, obviously having Jasmine on the other side of the, what do you call it, the bowl would be really cool as well, because she'll come out with some veracity. She'll come out wanting to make it spicy. So that'll be a bit of fun. And then, you know, obviously throwing Fiona into the mix, her having a team and me having a team would be pretty fun as well. I'd love to see it. I'd love to have the opportunity as well to see shine some light on some of these girls that are up and comers and giving them an opportunity at a belt, and then also getting a shot myself at a UFC, one of the first UFC female belts would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, those are definitely some very interesting names that I could see. I mean, it definitely has to be someone that is down to banter back and forth. I thought that the Mikey Musumeci versus Harrison, like we didn't get a lot of that drama, and I think sometimes that's like the fun part. So if you can like kind of lean into the antics of that, that's always fun. But obviously girls are always very respectful and everything. But I think having a little bit of reality TV drama can, I think bring the entertainment factor to jiu-jitsu a little bit more. I do want to talk about the fact that when you mentioned with the absolute division, you're not just going to be doing a dirty bulk, but it's going to be nice that you don't have to count calories. I was so happy for Alanis when she was heading to Polaris Squads, an inaugural women's squads event. It was absolutely brought all the action. I don't know if you got to catch it, but there was like a few.
Oh, absolutely. I watched it.
You watched it? Oh my gosh. It's so amazing.
I had all my girls out there. I was up at the crack of dawn watching, supporting, some of my friends that were out there, but also just supporting the girls, because that's an incredible event for Polaris to put on, and very, very interesting. It was a very spicy event, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they'll eventually gonna have to do the Australasia team. I think the next one is gonna be the men's Brazil. But I do know that a lot of the women had to, like, since there was a dropout with Fion's injury, they had to kind of change up the weight classes a little bit. So when Alanis was traveling, she kind of got to eat what she wanted and enjoy a little bit more. So from your perception, when you heard that Fion Davis was out of Polaris Squads due to the injury, what was your immediate reaction? Because we know we heard a crazy pop at Fight Pass Invitational 11, and then to find out that she was taken out of Polaris Squads for that injury, and how it is like being injured. What was your initial reaction to that news?
There was definitely no surprise there. I hope that she's okay. I hope that she has a speedy recovery and is able to get back onto the mats. But when I was out there competing, like I felt it break, I felt it go, I felt it loosen in my hands, and I heard it. Like I'm pretty sure over the live stream you can hear it very clearly that it was a clean break. I think she said in a post-match interview something about her feet being cracky. Pretty sure they're pretty cracky. If not, they're pretty cracky now. But yeah, like these things happen. She kind of took the damage, and then the repercussions happened afterwards where she couldn't come into some of these events. So to hear that she had to sit out of that one, I was not surprised. I felt it in my hands just kind of give way in my arm.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, yeah. I definitely...
Not the most pleasant thing.
Yeah, I definitely was like jaw dropped when I heard the pop in the moment, and obviously wishing her the speediest of recovery. She did post on her story, but I think before this, like as far as I know, I negotiated CJI women's divisions into my contract with UFC. What do you think is the likelihood that we see her take that fourth and final spot for the 100K tournament?
I don't think it's very likely. From her most recent stuff on Instagram, I guess, is that she's going to be taking a little bit of time off. It's not fun sometimes being in front of everybody and seeing all the comments and getting some backlash from certain things. I think on the back end of our match, she got a lot of backlash from people just saying that, it was biased and that I was robbed. And I think that is a lot to deal with. It is quite stressful. Random people on the internet giving their opinions and being super aggressive about it. Like there are some trolls on the internet that have a lot to say and hide behind burner accounts, to which I say, rock up at the gym. If you want to talk shit about me, like come say it to my face, because I'm 5'3", but I'll show you what's what. But yeah, I think that she'll take a little bit of time off. I hope that she comes back. I hope that we get some more matches. I hope that we can run it back, obviously. But in the meantime, I hope that she is okay. I do understand that there is a lot to deal with being sometimes the center of attention with some of these massive events. But I don't personally see her jumping into CJI. But hey, we'll be ready for anybody. It doesn't matter who they announce. We'll be ready.
I guess that matchup would be a lot more exciting for you versus a different name that a lot of people have been throwing out there, or maybe this is another name that would be interesting for you. I personally talked to Andre Galvao, and he mentioned that the fact that it's 145, it isn't Sarah's division, but a lot of people in the comments are saying Sarah Galvao, especially since she is the last person that, other than Sulame, had beaten Helena Cravar. So what is your perception on that take?
I think she's incredible. You know, I've had the privilege of being in the training room with her and getting to spend a bit of time with her. She's amazing. She's very technical. She's coming up in this sport. Her gi, you know, she shows time and time again that her gi is absolutely incredible, and that's where that win comes through for Sarah versus Helena. I think it was under Pan Am's, possibly, something like that.
One of the most watched video clips of Pan Am's, like brown belt women's
jiu-jitsu. But that
jiu-jitsu.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Yes.
But they're both incredible athletes, and they're interesting to watch, and they're very technical. So it doesn't surprise me that that's a very viewed video. But yeah, she's very technical. She's an incredible athlete. I think that she'll have so many opportunities coming her way. So I'm excited to see what happens next for her. But yeah, that like we said, like it's going to be interesting who they put in that 4th spot. But we're going to be ready for everybody. Obviously, there's some names that I feel like. There's some names, it's hard being friends with everybody in the division. This is the trouble, right? Because we train together and we love each other and we want each other to succeed. But at the end of the day, you put somebody in front of me and I'm going to do my job. And that's unfortunately what we need to do sometimes. So, you know, even I've been thinking about this a lot, like the Brianna in that division, like she deserves that spot. She's incredible. She's done incredible things for the sport. We've obviously needed to fight each other before. So I want her to have the opportunity. But obviously, it's always a bit stressful needing to fight against your friends.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, and I'm just spitballing here, Adele, what is your thoughts on it being an 8-woman bracket and it's absolute? I know you guys probably already signed contracts and things are probably already pretty official on terms of like what you guys signed up for. But I just feel like the more women, the better. And like, there's still a little bit of time to find more funding. And I know you said that like we have the ADCC absolute champion. Like, I think it goes along with a theme of like, the quintet style, like you're going to get mismatches there. So what is your thoughts? Like if it did become possible that they could make it an 8-woman bracket, would you be like, okay, I'm down for that? Or would you kind of be like, all right, I already signed up for this 4-woman bracket. Like, let's just stick with that.
No, I'm down for whatever they throw. I would never say no to an opportunity to give more women an opportunity like this, like CJI. So if they throw another 4 women in there, like, why would I say no? That's as much as like the selfish part of me is like, oh, I want to win this. Well, no, I want to give more women an opportunity to get out there, and so many people in this sport deserve the spot. So who am I to say, no, you should keep it smaller. Let's just limit it to only 4 people having this opportunity. Well, there are so many women before me that came before my generation of jiu-jitsu that, you know, deserve to have this opportunity. But unfortunately, their time in their career kind of outgrew what these opportunities are now. So why would we not want to uplift all the females? Like, why are we limiting it to 4? You know, if a millionaire turned around tomorrow and said, hey, let's put another $100,000 into this division and let's get more girls, absolutely, sign me up. Where do I sign? What do I need to do to make that happen? Like, I'll put my knee pads on and start begging millionaires for a bit of cash to put some more women in this division if I need to. But it would be stupid to say no. It would be absolutely insane to say no. And who am I to limit everybody else's opportunities?
I'm so excited that you feel that way. I am going to try to also find ways to get that money too, because I want to see it. Like, we have 40 male athletes competing at CJI too. I think it would be cool if we could boost the female presentation to at least 8 athletes. I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know if I'll get a call from Craig and he'll be like, Alex, you're fired. But I'm going to keep pushing for little things like this, because I think that's what we need for CJI too.
I agree. I think like what the boys are doing with this CJI and giving the women a division and putting this kind of money towards women's jiu-jitsu is incredible. Like, it's already a step in the right direction. But, you know, who are we not to continue pushing? That's what we're supposed to be in the sport to do. That's what our job is, the people that are leading the sport and the people that have a voice. That's our job, is to push for more. Like, that's what we're here to do, right?
Yes, and it is going to be...
let's find a millionaire.
We will do it. I feel like I know a few in Miami specifically. It'll be a high energy weekend in general. So we're going to have to really prove that they bring the entertainment, especially on this WNO card coming up. We'll definitely have a lot of examples, recency bias to show people. When it comes to B team, putting it on their credit card. And I think a lot of people have the narrative of like, oh, the women's divisions, there's just not enough depth. That's why we have to keep it small. But in your opinion, what do the women have to showcase when it comes to entertainment in order to really prove that this 100K payment on the B Team credit card is worth it?
Look, I think that the talent is there. I think that there's I think gone are the days where you can say that there's not depth in these divisions. Like we see it at ADCC when they increase the division by, a third. They put in another division. So it went from 2 divisions to 3 divisions. We didn't struggle to fill that division. As soon as you said we can have another division, we made another legitimate division with girls that deserve to be in those spots. There was no, for lack of a better term, cannon fodder in the ADCC women's divisions. Everybody was very talented. Everybody was ready to go. There was no kind of lack of ability in those divisions. So the depth is there. We now are in a position where people are watching women's jiu-jitsu, like Polaris putting on a women's event and getting the reception that did proves that people are watching. We look at the matches that CJI put on last year, the Mackenzie Dern-Fionn match. Go look at the views on that. It doesn't lie. You just need to go look at the views and compare it to other YouTube videos of women's jiu-jitsu. And there's a clear, there is an easy comparison to say, hey, the amount of views on the Mackenzie Dern and Fionn match versus the amount of views on the Levi Jones and I'm going to get the Rotolo wrong. Is it Cade or Ty?
Cade.
In the finals. Cade, thank you. In the finals. The Levi and Cade match, the views are pretty close. And then you compare that to, and no, this is no diss. This is not trying to talk anybody down, but then you compare the Mackenzie Dern match to the Nikki Rod match. The Mackenzie Dern match has more views. People are watching it. So why are we having this debate of nobody watches women's jiu-jitsu, blah, 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 blah? No. Give us the analytics. Anybody that's trying to say that nobody's watching women's jiu-jitsu, show us the analytics. Show us, give us the numbers. And if the numbers aren't there, okay, we need to work harder to get them there. But I don't think that that's the case anymore. I really don't. I don't think that the numbers aren't there anymore.
Amen, sister. I definitely think if we keep pushing, we'll definitely see more results. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. I think if we weren't complaining all the time on Craig's posts about a women's division, maybe it wouldn't have come out so quickly. I do know that they always wanted to have the women's divisions. I think there's potential that we get it to 8. I think absolute would be awesome because I felt bad. After Paige Yvette had a really great performance at WNO, she just said something along the lines of feeling that there's not a place for the 145 pound and over. And I was like, damn, I would love to see all the girls just kind of get this absolute tournament running. I mean, even if it was 145 stretched out and we add a bunch of women from the 145 division, but I don't know. I feel with the quintet theme, absolute would be very, very fun. But I know you got a bunch of different things to do. Is there anything that you're working on? I saw you posted on your story, BJJ Fanatics, Closed Guard Fundamentals, or any seminars you have coming up that you want the audience to know about.
So definitely check out all the BJJ Fanatics instructional stuff that's coming out. I worked long and hard on those. We had good 6-hour filming days where we were just slowly losing our mind in that little dark room, with one videographer sitting behind the camera, just watching us all day. So put a lot of time and energy into that. There's some submeta instructionals that are the courses, that are technically already out, but we haven't actually advertised it yet. So we are going to run a big advertising campaign to let everybody know some of the courses that are coming out through Submeta, which is, if you guys don't know about Submeta, definitely go check it out. Lockie Giles is one of the creators of Submeta, the platform, and he's taken his knowledge that he spent a lot of time in university. He's a PhD, he's a doctor, he's a very, very smart individual, but he took a lot of that knowledge of the learning experience that he had through university and put it towards jiu-jitsu and put it towards helping people develop the skill of jiu-jitsu. So the platform itself is absolutely incredible. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check that out. Seminar wise, we're trying to prioritize training over seminars at the moment. So if there are seminars that I do announce, I'll probably have one in Miami. There's not going to be many. They're going to be pretty scarce. So if you can get into those seminars, definitely get into those seminars because there's not going to be many of them popping around because my athlete training comes first before seminars at this time. But lots of training and traveling to come.
Well, we cannot wait to see you. It is going to be on WNO in Miami, July 25th, and then again for CJI 2, August 30th and 31st. I can't believe it's already July 8th that this is being shot. But Adele, thank you so much for the time, and we cannot wait to see the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I will give a shout out to my coach, Jake.
Chaos, but you can keep going.
That's all right. I was going to say, I will give a shout out to my coach, Jake. Definitely check out his Patreon. I think you can find the link on his Instagram. He's kind of the brains behind most of this training camp, a lot of the kind of behind the scenes stuff and some of the stuff that we work on and how we structure things. You can find that on his Patreon. So go check that out as well if you guys are interested to see how we do what we do. 3 out of 4 spots for the 100K women's bracket have been locked in. Who do you think is going to take that 4th spot? And is your favorite to win Adele Fornarino, Helena Cravar, or Anna Vieira? Hello, Jiu-Jitsu nerds. Joining us is the man with the submission of the inaugural CJI. It is Lucas Kanard, and he is taking the time at 11 p.m. to talk to us, different time zones, different sides of the world. Thank you so much, Lucas, for being here. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
How's everything been going at Sydney Wrestling Academy? I saw a YouTube video that your students put together before you were getting ready to do the inaugural CJI, and they said that you're a man that needs no sleep. Some say that you don't need to walk because you can kill people off of your back. They said the best guard in the game, best K guard. So they're just hyping you up. They love you over there.
Yeah, no, they're legends. I think that's the Turkish coming out in Melly. That line.
And when we think back to the inaugural CJI, you were one of the latest additions that we had, replacing Mason Fowler in that over 80 kilogram division. Why was your decision to choose CJI over ADCC either an easy one, or did it take a lot of thinking if you wanted to cross over?
No, none. I think I woke up to a message at like 8 a.m. and it was about 2 minutes after. And I woke up to a bunch of messages being like, check your phone, you absolute fool. And then one of the messages was from Craig, and I responded straight away. Yeah, no, I was very keen to do it. The thing is, for us from Australia, it's kind of like we don't get heaps of opportunities to compete with these guys. So it's kind of like when we do get the opportunity, we really have to make it happen. And actually, it was Craig and it was Lockie that kind of moved the goalpost for us, because what we love about the sport is training in the sport. Like Aussies love sport, and especially grappling now. And like they kind of moved the goalpost from you have to be a world champion to be successful to you have to make a living in the sport to be successful. And that was sort of the idea behind the first CGI event, right? It was, how do we make these guys have a living in this sport? And that was an idea I could very, very much get behind. And it's very in keeping with sort of what Craig's all about and what I think he's all about, right? He seems like an absolute legend, and he is for doing that. And now he's doing it with that women's division. He's got the 4-woman bracket with $100,000, which is an amazing thing that he's doing. And then obviously for everyone else, the teams event. And I'm just pumped for it, because I've just got this image in my head of getting a submission and then standing in the middle of the pit and then turning around while somebody else's music plays and they walk down the aisle, right? Like a full on like WrestleMania thing, right? Yeah, no, that's gonna be epic. Someone like swinging their arms as they walk to the pit. That'll be really exciting.
It's gonna be absolutely insane, especially since you don't know who it'll be.
Yeah, exactly. So you got that moment where you turn and you kind of, that'd be great.
Oh, that's going to be amazing. You brought up how Craig Jones was the one kind of texting you saying, wake up, fool. So it kind of reminds me of when you were at the Australasian trials and we had a sideline reporter there, Adam Jones, and there was a clip that went around of you basically saying you guys had met 6 or 7 times and not once he remembered your name. So who do you think suffers from more either drug-induced or other brain damage? Either Craig Jones or I'm forgetting his name now. Adam Jones.
He's going to love that you forgot his name. That's awesome. I've met Craig twice. And like, I mean, on one of them, I got $50,000. That was the best thing ever. So like from like my perspective, the relationship I have with Craig is just competing in an amazing event and then getting a bunch of money. And my relationship with Adam is just like I want to kill him at all times. Absolute. Nah. Honestly, they're both absolute legends, and honestly, like even around Australia, they're pretty well regarded. They're really good guys.
Tell me about the Australasia trials. Did you think that the people who got their spots locked in were the ones that were going to win?
I knew Declan was going to win. Like, everyone had heard about Belal being very, very dangerous. I came up like through all the belts competing with Declan, and like he always seemed like he was going to be one of the great competitors, you know. And then he was in there, like he kind of can really put it all together. If you're a lot of Australians are open guard players, right? And if you're an open guard player, that's kind of like that's actually where Declan shines. Like if there were 5 people on another team and they all decide to play open guard, then he's going first and they're all cooked because like he's just that good at passing open guards. And I just think I saw him as being someone who could sort of use the pit as a weapon. Like I don't even know. In my mind, when I did the first CJI, my plan was just to sit right in the middle and hope my head never went near that thing. But Declan looks like he can use that. Like he pushes off it while the guy's going for a single leg, arm drags him and takes his back. Like I just see him as being so adept at playing with the pit. And then, yeah, no, I really thought he was going to win. And as far as the rules, I didn't. I think the logic of it makes sense. Right? Like, this is not a disrespect to anyone, but for about 10 years in Australia, there were a lot of 10-minute matches where not much happened, right? People would pass off their knees. They would, it just felt like they were largely staying safe and then using tactics to win matches. And then I get the sense that maybe Lachlan got frustrated with that and decided to make the rules about people who were going to attack submissions. This is what we all want to see. And how do you make a rule set? Like in my mind, you could never really make a rule set that was going to make someone exciting. It was about the person. Like if you put Gary Tonin in the worst rule set of all time, it's still going to be exciting because he's Gary Tonin, right? So I think Lockie did a good job of making people make exciting matches. And so he was trying to reward the people that went out there and went for submissions. And I think that's what happened. Like I think, yeah, Belal and Declan are just going to be huge assets, and I'm really excited to be competing with them. And on top of that, man, like they're Aussies. Like when we do get that one chance, we really make it happen, and I'm excited to like have a go with them. I cannot thank B Team enough for not putting Declan in their team because I would hate to be against him. Like it's the best thing having him on our team.
Yeah, that Australasia team is absolutely stacked. There is some movement going on that we're going to get to. But first, let's talk about your wild card, Fabricio Andre. What have you like met him, spoke with him before? Like what is the relationship that he is having with the Australasian Misfits team as the wild card?
No, I mean, I saw him compete a lot of worlds, and obviously I watch him like everybody else does, but it definitely just as a fan, like I'm pumped to see that guy. Hopefully I get some training in with him as well. I want to cop one of those flying arm bars. That was incredible. The one that he did on, oh man, sorry, it's really late, but is it Felipe? The one that fought Mikey and it was the one where he does the flying arm bar and then he gets like toothpaste from the crowd and then walks back in and he's like, you got to wash your mouth out from all the bullshit he was talking.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have to run that highlight. I remember the one I think that he got at some type of ADCC event. And then there was also another one where he does like this cool post-celebration thing where he like spins on his head.
Yeah.
Like a break dancer.
He does that. Lucas Lepre does that. It's mad. Like I could never do that. I would just fall immediately.
We need to see some different. Okay, I was saying after your crazy submission against Victor Hugo, you did a little like that. That's your celebration, and I'm like, when you enter the gates of heaven, there's just going to be Lucas Kanard there cheering you on, like, yeah, mate. That's going to be you.
You know what that was?
There's going to be a bunch of different celebrations. What?
I like on the way to the match, I had like 6 mates come, and they were the only 6 people cheering for me on the way in, and so I could actually hear them, but I was looking the wrong way. And then like after the match, when they raised my hand, I just happened to look over at like my coaches, and then I look up and see all of them at the same time, and that was me doing my goofy little dance. I looked at that afterwards, and I will never do that again. I would never.
It was so pure. It was so pure. I loved it.
I was watching Forrest Griffin, and after the Shogun Homa match where he gets up and he runs like this, and then he says, "I will never do an embarrassing celebration like that ever again." I think that was as close as I'll ever get to that. Like,
well, you're definitely going to have to rethink about how you're going to be celebrating, because Australasia is what Craig said, the strongest Misfits team going in. We did get a comment from the most controversial coach involved in CJI, and it is Ferris, and he said, the team got a lot weaker when we posted about the Australasia team, and things have not been officially announced, but obviously Levi Jones-Leary was in the finals of the most stacked division of jiu-jitsu of all time, and there is some news. So what's going on with the Australasia team?
Yeah, it's really, really gutting news. Levi's going to have to pull out. I think he got injured and he's going to have to take some time off, and we'll just have to carry the flag for him. I think we're more than capable of it. I trained with Levi for years. I was so pumped to be on a team with him, right? But since he's not there, we'll just carry him with us, right? I'm very, very pumped to bring that kind of performance to the next CGI for sure. And I think we all are. I know Declan is, man. That guy goes. He really, really goes hard.
Declan is on such a tear. I'm wondering if he's going to be the guy that could just tear through an entire team like your coach, Lachlan Giles, did at a different quintet event. Did you ever consider the idea of Lachlan Giles, getting tapped in there and going in and, being part of the team? Or do you think there's no chance of that?
I bet he could still do it, hey. Actually, I bet he could still do it. I see, I keep up with his sub meta and watch him rolling, and man, he's as sharp as ever. I think he's got a brilliant mind for the sport. At the last CJI, I think there was a rules meeting, right? And he was one of 3 people in it. I sent Anthony a question being do I need grips to pull guard? And that was me asking about the rules. That was as far as I got. But I think Lachlan was there for the whole thing. He knew everything about the event. So he's one of those great minds for jiu-jitsu. And I think having him on our side in either capacity as a coach or a competitor is a huge asset to us. For sure, I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I've only got to train with him for about 2 weeks ever in my life. And I think I rolled with him once. So spending as much time as possible around him is going to be huge for us. I think yeah. As far as the coaches go, I see him as being the best one. Danaher included, for Aussies, he's huge. He's really impressive.
I definitely think having him as coach is going to be huge, but we also have someone putting the Asia in Australasia Misfits team. So can you give an announcement on who's going to be Levi Jones-Leary's replacement?
Yeah. I'm really it's a bummer to not have Levi, but we've essentially got the opposite. So where Levi was Berambolos in guard play, Kent is going to be all wrestling and passing, and I'm really excited. I've been in a team with him before in AGA, and his work ethic is so impressive, man. He's going to put it on everyone. That match that he had with Mika, he was taking him down. He was had some tremendous escapes and some great moments in that match, and I really see him as being capable of taking out just about anybody in the world for sure.
A lot of people talk about the rematch that they want to see, obviously the one that earned you that $50,000. And when I spoke to Victor Hugo, we talked about how nice of a guy you are and how he also gets a lot of people asking about that rematch. So how does a rematch against Victor Hugo look?
I mean, I would be honored to have a match with him. I was honored the first time. I couldn't believe that I was even getting to share the mat with someone like him. He's a 3-time black belt world champion. And I just knew it was going to be incredibly tough. And I think I had just a very new style, a very sort of unorthodox style for someone in that weight category. So he's going to have definitely made adjustments. But I certainly just like him, I'll have no fear of doing that match. I'll be happy, as much as possible. I plan on going first. I don't know if I got a scissors, paper, rock or whatever with the guys in the team, but I really want to go first. I really want to have strong performances at the next event. And yeah, I will absolutely be excited for that match. I think he's a tremendous competitor, and yeah, if we're against B team, I'm going to go after it for sure.
And in the inaugural CJI, it was $10,001 to show. being paid more than what you would to win ADCC. This year, Craig is making it $10,000 in two. So how about that pay raise?
Yeah, honestly, beyond pumped. Like, it was so at the last one, they don't cash foreign checks in Australia, so I had to go to the bank the day after, and they just didn't believe. Actually, while they were there, they had to call the person who issued the check, right? So it was the person whoever funded the event. So I'm sitting there like trying to hear who they're talking to on the other end of the phone, but they just couldn't believe it. They had to like. So they like laying down the money at the bank, and then someone had to just like scrounge around for $1. They just couldn't believe it. So I really hope it's the exact same experience again, where they just can't find that extra $1. But yeah, no, the pay is amazing. Like I'm pumped for that. I'm pumped for the event. Like I think just top to bottom, Craig nails it. I mean, that's why UFC nicked the idea, right? It's just a really, really good one.
Yeah, the world of submission grappling was changed after ADCC versus CJI, and now we're getting even more drama when it comes to CJI 2 versus UFC BJJ. Do you feel like it really is a rivalry there, or do you kind of think it is similar in the sense that it is all just kind of growing the sport? Or do you think that it's really going to continue to be a rivalry throughout CJI 2?
So, I mean, obviously it's a rival. I think they kind of made it a rivalry with the exclusive contracts, right? Like, I think that kind of is grounds for a legit grievance on Craig's part, right? They took his innovation of like the rounds, the pit, the like the way it's scored. I think what they can't take, I mean, and that they've got the exclusive contracts and it's like $15,000 or something like that, 15, whatever it is. I'm hearing all this from Craig's Instagram, and it's like I think what they can't actually take that Craig has is just sort of he understands the culture of jiu-jitsu. Like at the last one, you had the super fight was Gabby Garcia, who, and I'm kind of a culprit for this too, for the last 10 years of being kind of like cheering only when she loses. And then at CJI, he kind of understands that everyone was like that and then totally flips it. And now everyone is screaming. And I was one of them. I was in the crowd for it while she's dancing on her walkout and then giving the incredibly emotional speech. And everyone became a fan. Like him understanding the culture of jiu-jitsu is so much more important than the dollar figure you put on it. Like making a living from jiu-jitsu is the best thing and being a part of jiu-jitsu is the best thing. And I think Craig understands that, and that kind of gives him a massive advantage. So if there is a rivalry, he's going to be tough to beat. On top of that, in the match, he had a 27-time world champion, help me out here, who's coaching
Kanard
Laranja, far out. Like watching his videos with Eddie Bravo and like the one where Joe Rogan is playing along or doesn't understand or whatever. Like having these guys really shows, even the people that he invited, really shows that he understands the culture of jiu-jitsu. So like if the best thing that someone could do is just get ideas off Craig, and I guess that's what the UFC did. I suppose the point of difference between the pit and what they've got going on is the pit has become like its own tool where you can push off it. And I guess like there was Daniel Sattler who did the flying triangle off it. There's Declan who's wrestling off it and doing counter wrestling off it. I think B Team has a good handle on the counter wrestling off the pit. Whereas their one, you kind of slide back down to the middle. It's kind of like a skate park, right? So I honestly just think UFC BJJ is a lot less cool. If I had to like just say it in a sentence, right?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a general consensus from the jiu-jitsu community, but there have been some high moments for them as well. But I think you nailed it when it comes to understanding the culture. I think that is what takes this to the next level and what makes it popular for people who maybe aren't even fans of jiu-jitsu, especially with that Royal Rumble aspect. So when it comes to CJI2, what does Lucas Kanard think Australasian Misfits team's route to victory is?
I'm going to try and break everyone's leg. Like I'm not going to make a secret of it. I think I don't know how everyone else trains. I really don't pay attention to a lot of what everyone else does, and I think we have a really, really novel approach to jiu-jitsu. And as the other teams have incredible talent, and I just think we always come across as dark horses because no one knows what's going on with us most of the time. The thing is, Australians are generally incredible sportsmen, and now everyone's getting around grappling. like after the event, I was so like being at CJI 1 was incredible, right? So after the match with Victor Hugo, I walk off and like at that point, it wasn't real life anymore. For that weekend, we were just like, people knew who we were when we went to the gun range. We went to cafes and restaurants and stuff, and people would stop for pictures. And it was like, for one weekend, it was like being a pop star or something like that, getting stopped for pictures. Like I just, I couldn't believe it. It was just it was completely unreal. Right. And then when we came back to Australia, it was like, it's just a totally different vibe towards it. Like people either had no idea who we were, but I was at a pub listening to a couple talking about grappling and talking about CJI, and we were at the table next to them, and they had no idea that I had done it. And it's like, it's become a worldwide thing. It's really legitimized grappling, and I'm just like really, really stoked to be a part of it. Even after I walked off that match, Nate Diaz comes up to my coach, Ali, and he's like, hey man, your boy just subbed Victor Hugo. What's his name? And Ali's like, I don't know. Like, he couldn't believe that it was Nate coming up to him. And then Nate's like, I don't know either, man. And then shakes his hand. He's like, all the best. And then walks off. It was that the difference in the culture between America and Australia is unbelievable. And like, I'm really, really keen to be a part of it. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know how to describe it that well, but I'm really, really keen to go back and do it again.
It is definitely surreal. And now I can just totally picture you going to any restaurant or bar in Australia and being like, so CJI, you recognize this face, superstar over here.
I'm like, have you seen my Instagram? I have Instagram now. Have you seen it?
Hey, a lot of people's profiles did grow, and that's huge in general for jiu-jitsu guys, being able to like sell seminars. I know Pat Downey had one of the biggest growths as well. I remember in the last pre-show interview I did with you, I asked what you would do with that money, and you had the most wholesome answer of obviously helping your dad out, paying off for his house, getting a house and putting a kid in each room. If you were to win that $1 million with the Australasia team, how would Lucas Kanard be spending that money?
It's the exact same thing. Like, I don't know that I could make my dad retire. He loves work. Like, they make him take holidays. But I mean, we could at least pay the house off, right? And then, yeah, I would love to take a break. And my daughter actually just woke up. I can hear her in the other room. But I would love to raise a massive family and be able to support them. And like this event is kind of the reason that I kind of get a really good shot at that. And so it's huge for us. It's really huge for us here, and it's exciting, right? It's exciting to be a part of it. Everyone around here gets around it too. Like, my parents for the longest time would be like, okay, you're doing jiu-jitsu, but like, what are you doing for money, kind of thing? And now everyone's a fan of jiu-jitsu. Everyone's a fan of grappling. Like, no one asked that question. Even at the gym that I'm at, Sydney Wrestling Academy, like, people would pop their head in and they'd be like, what are you guys doing here? It'd be 11 a.m. There'd be maybe 6 of us on the mat, and they'd be like, grappling's great and all, but can you really make a living out of it? And now no one asks that question. It's even in general, like all of our lives changed in here in Australia as far as like how we can make money, but it's even smaller things. If we show a technique, people aren't really like yawning or laying on the mat or not paying attention anymore. They know that they're part of something that's kind of really big, and they really want to be a part of it and sort of support it. So it's huge. It's more than just the money. But it's definitely great that it's that too.
Yeah, that's definitely an amazing time to be a jiu-jitsu athlete. So before I let you go, I know it's late for you. Daughter's waking up over there. Where can people find your first BJJ Fanatics, and what is it on? It's
just what I did successfully in the first match at CJI, and then not as successfully in the second match. It's using outside position to get to the saddle and finish, like staying safe while you get to leg locks and finish inside, and then using upper body attacks to get to the lower body and so on. Jiu-jitsu stuff, right? I think if you like inverting, if you like spinning on your head, and if you like using some funky looking guards to get to some interesting leg locks, then it's definitely for you. Yeah, thanks for asking about it.
Yes, and thank you for the time. August 30th and 31st, you can catch Lucas Kanard representing Team Australasian Misfits. We'll see you guys there. Joining us now is the man that punched his ticket to CJI 2. It is Belal Etiabari. And I think it's amazing that you started jiu-jitsu in 2021 and you're now going to be competing on a stage like CJI 2. So what is that like for you?
So it's pretty crazy, because I started jiu-jitsu like only a few years ago, and I was actually watching the CJI like last year, and I was thinking like, like it'll be cool to be on it. Then like a few things, like it just lined up. I came and I trained with Lachlan, and then like it just worked out. So I'm pretty lucky, to be honest.
When it came to how the finals were determined, were you a little bit like confused with how the rule, like it was a very long broadcast. So when they were saying that if Declan could submit you, or if he can't submit you, you would be moving on instead of Kaya. Like, did you feel like you had to go against Kaya to make that decision? Or did you feel like you understood Lachlan's, thought process on how you earned your spot?
Because that was all spoken about, like when we had a rules meeting. So it said is that if you come tie for like the submission count, and then it goes to like a judge's like decision, so then like someone gets chosen, Yeah, so that's just how it worked out. Because like the rules were clear to everyone, so see, it looks like we knew what was going on.
And then walk me through your submission against Alabi.
Yeah, so that's a move I like to do a lot. So I like to do that. So I like to get to that position, to like that footlock position. Because I was trying to do that kind of like the whole day. But then it was just hard. But then it was just hard because I think people were like stopping my moves and stuff. But then it was good to just get there like at least once in the day and get one submission. So it was good, yeah.
And when it comes to your game, I know Lachlan specifically wanted to include you and he didn't want to give too much details and insight in your game when we were talking in the pre-show. But I thought it was so interesting. He wanted to include you because sometimes he feels like when it's two wrestlers just going head to head, it can get a little bit boring. But including you is someone with such a versatile and entertaining guard game. So why do you think Lachlan wanted to include you? And what were some of the things that you feel like he didn't talk about in the pre-show that he wanted to keep from your opponents?
Because the thing is, because I think like what he thought, because I'm much more like submission like orientated, like more than like a lot like bigger dudes are. So because I play guard like more than I wrestle, and it's kind of hard to come across someone that like prefers playing guard in like the heavier divisions. So like it's like that's what he saw, but he thought that like he wanted at least like two guard players in the trials. Where the thing is, where like it's not gonna be like six guys and just standing up and like collar time the whole time. Like he wants people to do like different stuff, So I think that's where he was coming from.
And when it comes to the entertainment factor with CJI, obviously people are going to want to be seeing those submissions. Do you feel like your game is going to be the type that can translate onto the big stage inside the pit?
I think it is the type, but at the same time too, I think people do want to see like wrestling. I think people do want to, now you see, but as people like do want to see like people like passing guard and doing, and doing more kind of like scrambly like jujitsu. So it's like some people, but it's like some people, but like some people, but as they like the guard play and the leg locks and whatever, and some people like more of the wrestling. So I think it's just Sivalux. So just Sivalux. Sivalux. So just kind of just like more like what you're into, I guess. Hey,
Is part of the reason that your game isn't super wrestling based is because wrestling, it's almost one of those sports where it helps a lot when you're doing it from a young age, but you started at 21. So was it easier for you to just like make your game based around the guard game?
yeah, because I think it's that, but also I think it's because like all the grapplers is that I looked up to. So guys like Craig Jones and like all these grapplers from Australia, where like they were more kind of like guard players and more leg lockers. So yeah, because that's what I kind of just like got into like early, like in my like jiu-jitsu career.
I saw Lachlan said that you're the kind of guy that is putting in a lot of extra hours to study. I saw also on your page that you had a graduation pic with the caption, "For my mama." So do you think part of the reason you're able to excel so much in jiu-jitsu at such a fast rate is because you're really cerebral with it and you do a lot of studying?
Yeah, because I do like to do a lot of studying, and I'm just a big fan of jujitsu, because I watch all these guys, and it's pretty cool, because I've been studying all these guys, and now I get to go out and like verse some of them, so like that's gonna be cool, and it's also like just like studying jujitsu. Like the thing is, bro, it's like for me, like well, like it doesn't feel like I have to do it, like it's just fun just watching jujitsu and just training and just going into the gym and just practicing moves and stuff. It's just fun.
So you are entranced by the art of jiu-jitsu, but what about the drama that kind of comes with it? Last year it was ADCC versus CJI. Are you like 100% in with like the culture of it and some of the drama that happens, or are you more just focused on the sport itself and being an athlete?
The drama, yeah, no, but look, the thing is, what drama comes with like all these sports, I guess, like once you reach a certain level, but I like to stay out of it, I'm not too like into like the drama side, but I do like support the CJI and how like Craig is like supporting the athletes. And that's like the biggest thing for me, like, which like to make like jujitsu is like kind of like a proper sport, like, it's like you don't want to be doing comps and not getting paid and all that stuff, So like what like Craig Jones is doing with the CJI, I think it's like really amazing. And for like but again, and for like the next generation, is I think it's going to be like super, super important. Like, because people that are young can start seeing it like as a career.
So when it comes to staying out of the drama, is there anyone that you've ever had any beef with on the jiu-jitsu mats?
Nah, well, I don't think so. Yeah, nah, well, I hope I haven't. Like, nah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah. Because I just try to like stay out of it. I just try to do my own thing, just train and just like show up to comps and just try like show good jujitsu, and that's it.
What was your assessment of the Levi Jones-Leary versus Cade Rotolo finals match that CJI won?
Oh, but fucking, they try to start some beef, eh?
I'm like, if you're not
Nah,
going to be
cause
involved in it, I'll start it.
cause I think that like Levi won. To be honest, like in my opinion, I think that Levi won. But I might be biased because he's from like this part of the world. But in my opinion, I think like Levi won clearly, which I think he won like 3 rounds like pretty fairly. But I don't know if like like the judges will say whatever.
How do you think is the best way to score those type of dynamics when it's like a guard player and someone passing? Like, what do you think is the best way to score it?
I think they should do it based on like who's trying to engage, and I think we kind of like guard retention, like it should be scored more as well. To be honest, because if you're not passing the guard, I don't think there's much the person on top is doing. Like so it's kind of hard to score. Like I mean, yeah, like like a decision is hard to give to anyone, but like me being a guard player, I think I'm more biased as well, like towards the guard player, like so. Yeah, because it's hard playing guard too, like but and then especially 4 or 5 rounds, what like Levi did was pretty impressive.
Yeah, everyone loves Levi so much, and it is an absolute heartbreaker, the news that was recently, and not officially announced, but we know within the community that he's not going to be your 77 kilogram spot. So did you get to catch up with Kenta at all at the Australasia trials? Like, are you guys friends? Like, what is the relationship now that you know he is going to be taking that 77 kilogram spot?
Sivilux, no, yeah, Sivilux. So like Kinsa came to the gym to train actually, but I didn't train with him because I had a bad infection as well back then. So like I wasn't training, but I seen him like training with the boys, and he seems like a good guy. And he's very, very talented, So I think he's gonna be a good addition. But it is pretty, yeah, nah. But it is pretty, yeah, nah. But it is pretty like upsetting, that we don't have Levi. Like he was there last year, then like he did so well at CJI, and it would have been so cool, like let's have him on the team. But Kent is also like like he's very, very talented. Like he'll still be like a good addition to the team, I think.
And what about Declan Moody? Did you get a lot of, other than the competition itself, did you get to practice and train with him?
He didn't stay for long. I think he left straight away. Is like he didn't come to the gym to train. I mean, yeah, nah. I mean, but I spoke to him as like straight after the comp. But and Declan is such a yeah, nah. But and Declan is like such a nice guy. He's so humble. Yeah, but I'm just such a good dude. But he's having like a killer year this year too. He's being a gun.
And when it comes to different goals that you have within the jiu-jitsu world, what does Belal want for the rest of 2025, other than, of course, winning that $1 million at CJI too?
Yeah, well, I think for now, I'm just looking at the CJI. It's a huge opportunity for me. So I'm trying to just get like ready for that. And then after that, then I'll see. I'll probably try to do a few like super fights like here in Australia. And then maybe do some more stuff like, yeah, and then maybe just try to do some more like, yeah, and then maybe just, but if I can just try to do maybe like some more like bigger matches like around the world, like, see, like maybe do like the Nogi Worlds or something like that.
ADCC trials?
I'll do the ADCC trials. I'm not sure what's even going on with ADCCA because there's not been much like news about it. But yeah, no, yeah, but I'll be keen to still do it.
And what would you say that you are fighting for at this point in your career? Like, is jiu-jitsu your full-time career, or do you have other things that you're kind of using to provide yourself to be a full-time athlete?
Well, I'm just doing like jujitsu like full time at the moment, So I'm just teaching. I'm just trying to make money. I have my partner with me too, which she like supports me a lot. And yes, I'm just trying to just do like jujitsu full time. Like for now, I'm trying to just see like how far I can go. Then after that, and then I might just go back to engineering soon, or like maybe after a few years, and just go get a job in that, and like and I just do something like that, hopefully.
Because you're only about 25, right?
Yeah, so I just turned 25 like recently.
Oh, nice. Happy belated birthday. And your degree is in engineering, you said?
Thank you. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is like construction engineering.
Ah, yeah, you'll be able to get back into that, in 10 years. Right now, you can just focus on the
Yeah, I
jujitsu
think I
side of
should,
things.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I should go back to engineering, because that's what like my mom wants.
I can understand that. I can understand that for sure. Hey, there's people out there that kind of do both, but if you're trying to be at that elite level, I'm sure you need all the hours spent focusing on jujitsu. So, what elements of your game are you looking to improve upon before CJI 2 in August?
Yeah, no, because I think it's just like but just making as like my own game kind of sharp, like just like keep like doing my own game, then just making it sharp and just like keep training with all the guys in the gym, and yeah, like just keep doing my stuff, like because I don't want to kind of like change my game like based for a competition. Yeah, nah, yes. He looks. I want to just keep just doing the same stuff, like and just try just make it sharper. That's it.
Do you think the big bright lights adding pressure is going to affect anything for you?
Yes, like we'll see, but I don't think so, to be honest, because I don't really think about it too much. Like I think at the end of the day, we're like it's just like jujitsu, like like yeah, nah, like like to be honest, it's like it's not that deep, hey. Like you're just going out there and you're just showing your skill, like versus the other guy's skill, and like the better man on the day is gonna win, and like and that's it.
Well, if there's anything that you want the fans to know about, I know Lucas Kanard was one of the athletes that maybe not a lot of people knew going in, and then everyone remembers his name after getting the submission of the weekend. So what is some things that you want the fan base to know about Belal?
I want to go to CJI and just show my jujitsu, then just show like what we're like from this part of the world, like and just keep showing that there's grapplers like out there, like so like Craig Jones and like Lucas and like Levi, and yeah, like to be honest, I just want to just be like another one of those guys.
And if Team Australasian Misfits were to go home with that $1 million, how is Belal spending that money?
I'll probably just pay back like my partner for like all the help she's given me, to be honest.
That's amazing. It's such an honest answer. I
Yes,
love it. It's better than the
yeah, I
guys
think
that
I'll
are
do
saying they're
that.
going to go gambling or buy some like new car or something.
Nah, I don't think I'll do that. But I think I'll do something like a lot smarter, eh?
I love it. Well, Belal Etiabari is going to be in action August 30th and 31st. If you want to catch it, it'll be streaming live and free on YouTube. But I think a lot of people are going to want to be there in person to experience this historic moment. We're going to have the highest paying women's grappling tournament in history and also the Royal Rumble kind of side of things, bringing the entertainment to jiu-jitsu. So Belal, thank you so much for the time. We cannot wait for you to make your CJI debut, and we'll see you soon.
See ya.
Thanks for watching this episode of On Borrowed Time. If you guys have not gotten your tickets yet, go to CJI2.com. Tickets have been available for a while now. Be there in person to see history go down in real time.